Okay, cool. Hello everyone. My name's Petra. I am going to be commentating over DragonHeart, which my fiance Legs is going to be speedrunning. She has the world record in it, and this will be an exciting game because there's lots of fun things, and we're going. So, if you've ever seen the movie, completely throw away all your expectations of what this game is going to be, because this game basically doesn't follow the movie at all. You don't get into a part that resembles the movie whatsoever until halfway through the game. And so there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens in this. Legs and I joke around and call it like Skyrim on Game Boy, because it has quests that are really dumb and silly, and very often you're going on these crazy quests that random characters that are in the movie give you. So in this first one, Legs is just going through this level. There isn't very much significance or anything you do in this level. Basically, some people tell her that there's a dragon somewhere and that you have to go kill it. You see that it's like a first-person RPG, kind of like a dungeon crawler. And then when you get into fights, it turns into a 2D, like, side-scrolling fighting game. And this is actually something we just found yesterday, which is crazy. You can strafe in this game by holding down A and then pressing side to side, which saves a lot of time. The first dragon just died. This dragon's pretty easy in this level. It doesn't even take 2 minutes. So it saves a lot of time. We haven't routed it into stuff yet, but you basically would never have to turn as long as you know where to go in the levels. Yeah, the faces are really, really silly. Some of them are really detailed and actually look good, and some of them just look awful. Like, these people are, like, there's something really wrong with them. Right now we are trying to get in through this barricade to go fight another dragon, but we have to talk to all these people because we don't have an axe to break through this barricade. So first we're going to go talk to Lord Felton, which is like the mayor of this town, and we're going to tell him that we want to go kill the dragon. And we have to like convince him that we're okay with that, or that we'd be able to do it. You actually kill a lot of dragons in this game, compared to the movie, where there's only one dragon, there's only Draco, and you never see another dragon, and the only dragon in the movie is the one that's your friend. You fight a dragon, or try to fight a dragon, in almost every level in this game. And yeah, so now we're talking to the mill guard. He's going to give us an axe so that we can break through this barricade. We haven't talked to Gilbert yet, but Gilbert is in every single level, and he's extremely similar to the way he works, his character in the movie. He's really annoying, gets in the way, almost never want to talk to him in any of the situations. We only talk to him on purpose like 3 or 4 times in the whole game, because his conversations take a really long time, and he doesn't have anything important. Now we're fighting Bodega, which is actually a pretty difficult dragon. Every dragon in this game works in a different way. They have like different AI and different things that they prioritize. This dragon is extremely aggressive compared to some other dragons that aren't very aggressive at all and just kind of stand there while you wail on them. And it looks like Legs will be able to kill this dragon pretty easily. If she does die, we have passwords to get into them, but it was really close, as you can see. That Legs only had 2 health, and every time a dragon hits you, it takes 2 health. So that was an extremely close fight, but she was able to still kill the dragon. There are other enemies in this game. We're actually about to fight some enemies. There are some soldiers that you have to fight, like soldiers that work for, or that are in Einan's army. But yeah, it's kind of split. And this is actually Lord Brock, another person we're fighting right now. He's gonna throw us into a dungeon that we're going to have to get out of. And we have to fight lots of people through that dungeon. And yeah, there's a lot of caves and forest in this game. Strafing would make it way faster to go through all of them. Legs and I did a race earlier before this. We've been doing lots of practice. We haven't had very much time to practice getting used to strafing because the game looks different when you're doing like that and you're not turning. But the amount of time that we'd be able to save by strafing is just crazy. Yeah, we have like so when Legs routed this game for a 12-hour challenge like a year and a half ago, and we have like a list of all the fastest conversation trees to go through and exactly how to get through the forests and the caves the fastest. And it makes it really, really easy because you don't have to do any guesswork. There's lots of side quests in this game that you can do if you want, but they don't actually affect the progression of the game whatsoever. Right now, she's going on one of the side quests you have to do, which is why we call it like Skyrim on Game Boy or an Elder Scrolls game on Game Boy. You have to get into the forest, but you don't know how. This old man knows how, and so does his kid, but he won't tell you. There's a dog. He won't tell you unless you get him his oats. And of course he can't eat just oats, he has to eat oats with sugar. So this whole section here is just going back and forth between these two old man's houses, getting ingredients so that this old man can have some oatmeal. So yeah, the one thing... Oh yeah. The one thing that can mess you up in this section is Gilbert is standing right there, as you can see on the left side of the screen, and he strafes back and forth a lot, and he is really annoying. People are in different spots almost every time you go past them because little differences in movement can affect their walk cycle. So this kid right here that you have to talk to soon, and Gilbert on both sides are really can really mess you up if you aren't paying too much attention. And we're almost done. We just got the sugar from the peasant in that house, and next we're going to give the sugar to this old man, and he's going to tell us to go talk to his kid to get into the forest, where we have to fight another dragon. This dragon is much easier. It's almost never attacks. It's like a really passive dragon. But you still have to pay attention. Dragons can do like fireballs. They can attack you. You can block, but it's almost always slower to block the fireballs and block the attacks. And in some situations, it's extremely rare, and we haven't found out how to manipulate it yet. But you can get into some kind of position where they will attack you, but they won't hit you, even though you're in like this one specific spot. It's a handful, it's a few steps away, and they just won't hit you. As you can see, this dragon is like really, really passive. When it puts its head back up, you can move a step closer to it, and you can just see how much easier this dragon and how less close it is compared to the dragon in the second level. Yes, in the movie, Draco is the good guy, basically. He teams up with Bowen, and they do a bunch of weird stuff. They, like, trick swamp people into giving them money to fake kill a dragon. But that doesn't happen it doesn't happen in this movie. Draco is nice, but at first you start fighting him, and he becomes your friend afterwards. The first thing we have to do in this level is free this guy from like some stockade that he's stuck in. I don't know how he's stuck in it. There's no one around him but him. There's no one else around him. We don't have a sword or an axe or anything, so we have to go get a hammer to break him out of the stocks. And then afterward, we're going to go talk to Gilbert, because he's in jail for some reason, and we have to free him. Actually, no. That's later when Gilbert isn't in jail now, but some other people are in jail that we're going to free. Yes, if you know exactly what you're doing, this game, even if you mess up, should definitely take you less than an hour, and it'll be around... The world record right now is 30 minutes and 20-something seconds, so we're almost to sub 30 minutes. But even still, it's pretty simple. The music is pretty grating. We just freed Kara from jail, and then she ran off into the forest. And if you've seen the movie, you know that you see Kara in like the first 10 minutes of the movie, and in this you don't see Kara until halfway through the game. She isn't extremely important, and she doesn't come into play later on at all, but she is with us right now, and later on we have to help her dad from dying of thirst. And now we're going through this forest, and we're going to fight another dragon. We're talking to Hugh right now, and he's like the rebel leader. He's also trying to have a revolt, to start a revolt against King Einan. And if you haven't seen the movie, the whole point of it is that King Einan has half of Draco's DragonHeart, but it made him really, really evil. So ever since he grew up with the DragonHeart, he's basically enslaving people and taking over new places and being really awful to all of the people that live in his kingdom. So we're starting a revolt to overthrow him, basically. It does have some Lord of the Rings feeling to it. Now we're in a level called Friendly Dragon. First we're going to go talk to Honest John for some reason. We have to talk to him. He has a cup game. You know, you put a ball under a cup and then you move them all around. In this game, no matter what, it's always the third cup. So it's really easy. You just stop. You just get the third cup, and then he gets all angry, and then you leave. These people in this town are dying of thirst because they don't have a bucket to get water from the well. That guy has a really nice bean hat. It looks like a bean, like an enormous bean. So we have to go get a hat from him, and now we're going to go talk to Buckethead, who also is not in the movie, but plays a very important role in the game. He has a bucket, and we're going to give him his hat for his bucket so that we can save all these people from dying of thirst. He has a really long conversation tree, but you can basically just mash through it until the very end, where you have to say, "Give me the bucket." And now we're going to save all these people. We have the bucket, so now this guy's going to give us a water skin full of water, and now we're going to save Kara's dad. He's dying right now, and he's going to show us the way through the forest so that we can go kill another dragon. Coming up soon, we have to talk to Gilbert for the first time, on purpose anyways, and he's going to help us get into the cave where the dragon is. We're going through a forest. These can be pretty convoluted. They're almost there's almost always a map in these forests, and there's a map screen where you can move as top down, like instead of first person like this, which does make it easier if you're playing the game casually, because there's lots of random areas that don't go to anywhere important, and the map can help. There was just a map right there too. The inventory has a lot of different items that you can use. They're mostly only get them through side quests though. Now we're talking to Gilbert. If you've seen the movie, then this is like a really famous scene, I guess. It's Bowen fighting the dragon, and he gets not stuck, but he like jumps into the dragon's mouth, and his sword is through the roof of the dragon's mouth and stuff like that. And they just sit there for like 12 hours, and then they decide that they aren't going to fight, and they're going to be friends. This game came out in 1996, along with the movie. They both came out in May 1996. Same year I was born. I was born in the year of the DragonHeart. So now we have to fight Draco a few times. They're all pretty, they all have names, but Draco's the most important one. So, we're not going to fight anymore. We're going to get along with each other, and, I don't know. We don't really do it that much. He lights a torch for us later on in the game, but it isn't a very, meaningful, friendship as it is in the movie, where they do lots of stuff together and they, like, bond. Now we're in the level called Swamp People. You don't actually, talk to Swamp People until later on. First we have to free Gilbert from jail. So we have this pig, and we have to take it to a, cook in the jailhouse. And then he's going to cook the meat for us, and then we're going to free Gilbert from jail. Yeah, so we're gonna give this knight some meat, and Gilbert's gonna get out of jail and tell us how to get out of this place and into the forest. This game is so silly, and I like that all of you are enjoying this game too. It makes it much better. This game is a trip. So now we're escaping into the forest, and we're gonna talk to some swamp people. In the movie, we like trick the swamp people into fighting, into saying that we're gonna kill the dragon that's taking all their sheep and pigs and stuff. But in this, they are like cannibals, and we have to like stop them or do something. It's not completely clear what we're supposed to do, but we're gonna talk to this swamp person right here. And if you pay attention, then there's lots of places we could be strafing, so you can just imagine the amount of time that it saves once it's routed. It's actually an inventory button. I don't think there's anything in our inventory right now. When you got the axe in the second level, that was in our inventory, but I don't think we have anything right now. We might have a torch right now, actually, but that's it. We have to go fight this dragon, but the cave is dark, and we can't see into the cave when it's dark. So we have to have Draco light our torch, which is a super great thing for him to do. Our torch is lit, Sir Knight. Lit as heck, just like this game. Now we're gonna go into this cave and fight this dragon. I think this might be Goathead, but I think Goathead might be in the next one. I think this is just some random dragon. And now we have to go through this cave. I think this is one of the easy dragons too. The next dragon in the next game is probably the deadliest dragon in the next level. This one is pretty easy. You can get a sword early on into the game, but it doesn't actually help you at all. It doesn't make you do any more damage, and gates you into like having to talk to more people. Yeah, the Dennis Quaid sprite is extremely high quality. That's like crazy how good they made it. They didn't make the King Einan sprite as good as that. So now we're in the second to last level called the Revolt. And in this level, we're getting people together to revolt against Einan. And we have to talk to all these people in very different ways. So that person we just had one dialogue option with that we got him to join the revolt. But in all of the other ones, it's almost 4 or 5 conversation trees deep until we get them to join the cause. And there's some very good movement in this section with strafing. It saves lots and lots of time. being able to strafe instead of have to turn around to talk to people. So all in all, we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different people to join the revolution. Then we have to go talk to Hugh at the rebel camp to tell him all the people we've got. If you don't have enough, then you can't continue. We've tried it with all like numbers and different ones. You can't continue in this level unless you... Oh no. Alex did that one wrong, but that's okay. You can always try all the conversation trees again, so it's pretty low effort, but it can lose you a lot of time, especially in this level where the conversation trees are pretty long. If you don't get all of them, you can't compete, you can't go further into this level at all, so it sucks that we have to spend all this time talking to these people. And this person is in the way. They move all around, and if Legs wasn't paying attention, she would have just walked right into where the person was. Kara is in the rebel camp as well, but you don't have to talk to her at all, so you pretty much don't even notice that she exists in this level. Now we have to... Oh no, she talked to Richard. You don't have to talk to Richard. He is completely optional, but he's standing right there at the beginning of the level, so that's really funny that we ended up talking to Richard. If you aren't fast enough when you're moving, he will just automatically talk to you. Any NPCs that are a block touching you will just talk to you. And here's the dragon we're fighting. We're fighting Goathead. He doesn't actually want to fight us. He leaves after like 3 or 4 hits and makes fun of us because he can fly and we can't. So Goathead just flies away. And then we have to talk to Gilbert again. He basically tells us, like, this level kind of resembles the end of the movie, where they're getting all the people and teaching all the peasants how to, like, shoot arrows and how to fight with swords, and they're getting lots of, like, pigs and sheep together to lure Draco in, or lure this dragon in, because they want to kill this dragon. In the movie, it's just for Draco, and I'm not completely sure why they do it in the movie. But now we have to talk to this old man who is a dragon master, apparently. Just chilling out in the forest, dragon master. It would have been really helpful if we had a dragon master any time earlier on in the game. And Legs is on pretty good time here. We might be able to see a PB, or a sub 30, or at least a PB. The last level takes a long, long time. This is the longest conversation tree in the game right here. It's like 17 or 18 options, or like dialogue options that you go through. So it takes a very long time. It's by far the longest conversation tree in the game. But after this, we can walk into the cave and fight another dragon. He had a dragon horn, so I'm not sure if he tells dragons what to do or if he just lures dragons. So that's what's happening right here, is we use the dragon horn that Winston, the dragon master, had, and now we're going to go into this cave and fight this dragon. The Revolt Dragon is extremely hard. He's really aggressive and difficult to fight. We might have to... It's pretty common to die in Revolt Dragon, but we might have to, so we might have to use a password. But hopefully we don't. You can see he's way more aggressive, and it's really difficult to get into position. Yeah, this dragon, all the dragons look like they've seen something. It's really close again. Actually, Legs gets one more hit in before the dragon hits her again, so that was not as close as the level 2 dragon. So this is the last level of the game, King Ninen. Finally we see King Ninen, and we have to kill him. That's basically the point. So first we're going through all the forests, and this does resemble the movie as well, where they're all fighting in the forest, and Gilbert has like a hero moment where he shoots Einen and makes his army retreat back to the castle. You're going to see a lot of crazy portraits and like pixels in this, pixel faces in this level because you have to fight lots of soldiers. What you'll often see Legs doing is pushing them to the side of the screen because once you hit them once, they move out of, or once you hit them twice at least, they move out of range of your attack. So you have to be aggressive and push them so that every time you hit them, every time you swing, you hit them. They have great dialogue too. They just yell and say that you're gonna beat us up or something. Yeah, that's a compass. Nobody likes a tattletale. We're gonna fight this guy too, and I think that's the last person we fight before we get into the castle. We have to talk to Gilbert first, but I think this is the last person we fight before we start fighting King Einan. So Brock is here. Oh, we have to fight Brock. I was doing a run before this, and I thought Brock was like, I was not supposed to fight him, and I got super lost. It's extremely easy to get lost if you even make one wrong turn. We have maps uploaded onto the speedrun.com guide section for this game, but yeah. The damage carries through between battles, so you have to be pretty careful. If you aren't pushing them and getting the most attacks, then it's really easy to take damage and end up in a fight with low health. So there, the ultimate conflict point of the movie and the game, Gilbert is like a pro sniper, and he kills Einan, or not kills Einan, but he shoots Einan and makes his army retreat to the castle. A lot more soldier fights here, but I think the first fight with King Einan is coming up right after this fight. And this is where it's you have to pay close attention to your health, because King Einan is a very really aggressive fighter, so you have to fight him 3 different times, so you can get really low health if you aren't hitting him enough. Yes, I always see it as a bat, but it is really weird. Now we're talking to Aislinn. Aislinn is King Einan's mother, and she's like, you have to kill my son because he's too evil, so please do that. At this point, pretty much everyone in the game is against King Einan. You can see his sprite. His sprite doesn't look like how his character looks in the game at all. King Einan moves really fast, so Legs doesn't even bother pushing him to the side because you just take unnecessary damage in this fight. There are some faster dialogue options that you can choose to get through it sooner, but really just making sure you're hitting as much is important. Now we're going to go through another section. These sections are really, really easy to go through. There's almost always just one, like northeast, northeast, northeast. You can't really get lost in this castle. And there's a sturdy soldier here who has much more health than the rest of them. This game is a masterpiece, absolutely. I'm glad I'm able to put it on show here. We're fighting King Einan again, and you can see that our health, his health is pretty low, but our health, like, it's actually pushing him here. It's difficult. He's normally pretty aggressive, but almost always if you see him not moving, you should be pushing the enemies to the side. We're just about to be done with this. This might be a sub 30. It's a little hard to tell. The dialogue, you still have dialogue when you're fighting King Einan and stuff. So this might be a sub 30, which would be a new world record in the first sub 30, but we'll have to see. I think we have 2 more fights with King Einan. So this could be very exciting if Legs gets sub 30 world record here. I think it might actually be, yeah. So that's a new world record. That's about a minute faster than Legs' previous time, which was like 30 something. So yeah, GG. We got a world record last time we ran as well in Tilt Heroes last year. Yeah, world record. First sub 30 ever. So yeah, that was DragonHeart. This is a really silly game. We have a bunch of guides and resources up on the speedrun.com website, on the speedrun.com page. So if you're interested at all in this run, it's really fun, I think, and it's really silly. So go check it out if you want. Yeah. Oh, I think she might be trying to enter since our run was so fast. There's a blade of grass that you can talk to, which is exciting. So while she's doing this, I want to say shout out to all my dirt friends. Shout out to Canvas, who's one of my really close friends. Shout out to This Is Game Boy, which is a Game Boy podcast that Legs produces and works really hard on. And shout out to It's Me, I'm Alex, which is a Twitch show that I'm involved in that's super great. It's a cartoon and it's silly, just like DragonHeart, so you might enjoy it. That's all I have, really. We might be able to get into this grass if Legs remembers where it is. This is the right level for it. It's a hidden, like, NPC you can talk to. I think Legs found it, so yeah. You can talk to this grass person. Yeah. So there's some weird stuff in this game that you don't have to talk to at all, but there's some side stuff like this that's enjoyable. There's lots of fun stuff in this game, and it's really silly and cool, so I'm glad we got to show it off and also get a world record. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I was Petra, Legs was running, and she got our world record. So yeah, thanks for having us, and enjoy the rest of the Game Boy block.